And Barry, one step that small business owners, they sure don't want to overlook is having a solid business exit strategy, right?
Well, Ralph, I think that when a lot of people go away from their business to exit it, they just think it's going to be the end of the business. And I probably think instead that they should think of it as a plan that will move the business on past them toward the long-term goals while allowing them to exit out, but the business to continue going forward. So all exit plans are going to be different depending on the size and the type of the business, but typically the end goal for all of them is to help create a foundation for future goals and new direction for that business. So you need to decide what's going to be done with your business when you decide to call it quits. Are you going to close it, liquidate, call the auctioneer and have a sale? Or are you going to sell it to a new owner who's going to take through? And it's best to think through your plans well ahead of time so you aren't making emotional decisions about your company and its future. So there's a template for thinking about these things, and we walk business owners through that template in the last couple of years of their working so that as they prepare to call it quits, their business can transition on to the future without them as they retire successfully.
And planning early for your exit strategy. There's a lesson for all of us who'll be retired someday. So plan early so you're not scrambling to throw something into place or making any emotional decisions, right, Barry?
Well, that's true, Ralph. And many people who are owned by their jobs, frankly, aren't the best planners. And it's okay to admit that. You know, the older I get, the easier it is for me to acknowledge the things I'm not good at and to hire other people to do those things. And that frees me up, Ralph, to spend more of my time totally focused on what I'm good at, helping business owners and retirees save hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes, some this year and some over their lifetime, and then turn that money that wasn't paid in taxes into lifetime free, tax-free income.
And Barry Watts can help you do that. So, on this topic of owning a small business today, there are some similar steps for all of us that we may want to make and take as we get closer to retiring. And Barry, another step for the small business owners, you have to appraise the value of the business and the assets and all the investments the company has.
Well, Ralph, it's really easy to overestimate how much your business is actually worth. So it's good to get a valuation so that you have accurate numbers to work with. And we can help you get a third-party evaluation of the worth of your business. Now, if you were expecting a certain amount of money from selling the business for your retirement, but the business sells for less, well, that can be a real big problem for you. And the same thing with your assets and investments. If they aren't as much worth as much as you thought, then you'll either need to adjust your lifestyle or you'll need to figure out another plan for retirement income. So figuring out what your business is worth is tremendously important.
Well, we also have this final bit of advice for you small business owners getting ready to retire. And don't touch your retirement savings until that is absolutely needed. That sounds like a pretty solid exit strategy piece of advice.
It's important, Ralph, to understand the penalties that you will incur if you withdraw from a retirement savings plan too early. Now, some plans will make you pay a penalty to access the funds, and others might cause the account to either lose principal or to lose interest. And there's also a chance that you could totally lose out on tax benefits if you withdraw too early as well. So you want to avoid accessing retirement funds until you retire or until you qualify according to the rules of your specific plan to withdraw money.
Let me also get in another important factor. There are other people involved in that decision if you decide to sell your small business, the people who work for you. Whether the discussion might be with the new owner, will you keep all my people? Do I let them go? Have you negotiated some situations, Barry, with what happens to the other people, the employees on the staff, and what happens to them?
Well, it's really interesting because some employers are deeply committed to their staff and they will move heaven and earth for them. And there are other employers who frankly say, I don't care about them. I just want out and we'll let them all scatter to the wind and do whatever they want to
You've
do.
seen it all.
And that's a part of getting to know the person who is our client. We're trying to figure out what it is that they want to do, and we build the plan accordingly. If they're not concerned about the employees, then we don't have to be concerned about the employees. But in most cases, the people we like to work with are people who realize they have a bigger responsibility than just to themselves, and they're concerned about the people who've given their lives to serve them, and they want to be sure that those people land softly and are able to transition and go on successfully to other things when that business closes.
And you mentioned that, Barry, and that's the way folks are in the Ozarks, very caring about their staff and their journey of faith, their journey of employment right there on Springfield.
A
Yeah.
little bit more. That's true. That's not to say that there aren't other people around the country who are that way. There certainly are. But I think the Ozarks is a special place because I think we are just a little gentler, a little kinder there, to quote Daddy George Bush, kinder and
Kinder, gentler.
Yeah.
1,000 points of light.
Yeah, well, we'll get
all
to
that
1,000
stuff.
points of light in a city sitting on a hill, but I kind of think Springfield is the shining city sitting on a hill. So there are a lot of wonderful things about the Ozarks. I've had opportunities to move my business to other parts of the country.
Right.
I've had people tell me, oh my goodness, Barry, do you know how much money you could make in New York? And what I've said to them is, I'd love to make that money and I'll sign up for that. But you need to understand, every night I'm going to lay my head down on the pillow in Rogersville. If you like this content, please follow and subscribe. And for more information, please look in the description below.